Hi there, welcome to Micstand. This is Ross, this is Jacqui,
Hi.
and we're going to talk about the Switch, the Nintendo Switch. Now, we went to an event a couple of days ago up in Birmingham,
Yes.
and I just wanted to get your impressions really. What did you think of the Nintendo Switch?
Well, I've been asked that question a few times since I went, because obviously people who didn't go want to know, want to get their hands on it. And I've always answered it, it's great, but... So, can we focus on the great?
Yeah,
To start with, at least.
go for it.
Because I've been kind of focusing on the but quite a lot since we got back. And yeah, there's a lot of great things about it. It's Nintendo, and as you would expect from Nintendo, they've done something entirely different to what everyone else is doing.
That is for sure.
And we
Yes.
kind of all knew that beforehand, but it really works. It is a handheld. It is a console. It is a split controller, so you can play one player or two player with the same controller. You can play it desktop, or you can play it with the controllers on the side of the screen. It's so many different things, and that's pretty groundbreaking, really, I think.
It is quite special. The thing about the event, the event itself was actually quite good, I thought.
Yeah.
It could have been a lot worse, actually. What was it? It was like a set group of people, amount of people, I don't know how many there were exactly. But we were given 2 hours to run in and just run around and play as many games as we can. What I did find interesting was that every available way of playing a game on a Switch was available to have a go.
Yeah.
So we kicked off with the just the single Joy-Cons for Quick Draw, which was a lot of fun, which I'll talk about in a minute. We played with the Pro Controller. We played with the handheld, which was great, I thought. We played with the Joy-Con grip. And another one. That might have been it, actually. But yeah, we played with the tabletop as well. The tabletop, the screen just on the table. Did you have a preference over any of them?
I really liked how it was as a handheld with the screen, with the controllers either side of the screen. It felt really nice. It wasn't too heavy. It was well designed to just fit nicely in your hands, because I've got tiny little hands and I have problems sometimes.
It's true.
But yeah, it felt really nice like that. I didn't get on particularly well with the Pro Controller, and I still am not sure why. Whether it's just because I'm so used to the PS4 one, but then again, everything was in the same places as it would be on my DS. And yeah, I just didn't get on with it, and I have no idea why. I didn't try the... What do you call it when the two are together?
Oh, with the grip, the Joy-Con grip.
Yeah,
as they call
I
it.
didn't try that. I know you weren't impressed.
No, don't like that. Wasn't a fan. What do you make of the venue?
The venue was the weirdest thing about it.
This weird Nintendo event.
Considering it's Nintendo, this international company, to go down a sort of back street that's full of graffiti art to
Very good graffiti art.
it was wonderful, but to what was essentially an industrial estate, and a pretty closed industrial estate as well.
It was a Sunday.
Yeah, but if you're going to hold an event on a Sunday where you're not going to let people in until bang on a certain time, and you know they're going to be travelling from all over the country, which people would have travelled for that, you'd think they'd at least either have a holding area themselves or just be next to a cafe. It's not that much to ask in somewhere the size of Birmingham.
I mean, we were in a holding area. It was just outside with
We
no
were
chairs or
stood
tables. It was
outside.
very cold.
It was it was snowing.
It was snowing. Yeah, it was pretty cold.
And when you got in there, it was a warehouse, and a run-down warehouse at that. The paint was peeling. I mean, they had blacks up over the walls, but if you actually had a look,
I assumed it was like an art exhibition space. I think, anyway. It was called Boxed in Birmingham. And it was fine. It was a room with Nintendo games in, which is what we signed up for.
Yeah, I mean, what was inside and how they ran it, the fact that you got to try out the console in all the different ways that it's meant to be played and try out it was very much about their games and things that are just coming out on the Switch.
Yeah, I mean, it was only Nintendo games that were there. There was no third-party games, like Puyo Puyo Tetris and Bomberman and things like that. They weren't available. But so what was there? So we had The Legend of Zelda.
Yes.
Breath of the Wild. Oh, I can't wait.
Everyone I've spoken to, all these people that have come up to me and said, "How was the Switch?" have all got it. Well, not all, but most of them have got it pre-ordered, and most of them have pre-ordered it purely so they can play Zelda and nothing else.
I don't blame them.
They have no other plan other than I've got to get this because I need to play Zelda.
Yeah, I'm absolutely with them. The only reason, we'll go into it, but if I was to get one at launch, it would only be to play Zelda.
That's what
Genuinely.
I mean, I'm sure there are people out there that are buying it for other reasons, but that's what all my friends seem to be doing. I want one. I want to play Zelda. What are you going to do with it after? I don't know. I just want to play Zelda.
Who cares? Doesn't matter. I might sell it once I finish Zelda. By the time I finish
That's
Zelda,
come up in conversation as well. Just buy it, play Zelda, and then sell it on.
It's tempting. Although by the time I finish it, it'll probably be Mario Kart time. So, it's a nice little release system going for the Switch. Anyway, where are we? Legend of Zelda, Splatoon 2.
Yes.
Which really should be called Splatoon. Why it isn't, I don't know.
TWON.
Yep.
Splatoon.
Why isn't it called that? Why isn't it called that? Come on. Mario Kart 8 Deluxe.
Yes.
Which we played on the handheld, the actual device itself. We had Quick Draw.
Which is part of 1-2 Switch.
We had Milk for 1-2 Switch. There was also Ball Count, which we didn't play. We didn't have time in the end. We ran out of time queuing up for Splatoon, which was a complete waste. Anyway, Arms was there.
Arms was there.
Another one that we didn't get around to playing. I think that's it.
Is
that it? No, Snipper Clips.
That's it.
Snipper Clips.
The one I keep forgetting what it's called.
Yeah.
That's no reflection on the game. I just keep forgetting what it's called.
So, I'll try and go in the order that we played them, if I can remember rightly.
So we started with Milk.
We started with Milk. What a place to start.
That was quite an induction.
Milk is built into 1-2 Switch, that mini-game collection. I was reading today, there's about 30, 40 games in there. Which, when you look at it, okay, that's fair enough. But it's not bundled in with the Switch, like it should be. You've got to pay a premium for it.
I think what they're charging for 30 or 40 games is not that bad for a bundle.
No, but it's a bunch of tech demos. And it shouldn't, the same way that Wii Sports was for the Wii or Nintendo Land was for the Wii U. It should be thrown into the box, I think.
Yeah.
Considering that there's very little depth to it.
I agree with that. I mean, it is essentially the kind of game that you would use for a kid's sleepover or get out at Christmas and get your auntie up and playing. It's nothing. Yeah. It's a very good way of learning to use the controller in the different ways and showing off the different things you can do with it. But I probably wouldn't go out and buy it.
Now,
unless I was having a party.
We played Quick Draw and Milk.
Yes.
And to their credit, they were fun. Milk was hysterical.
Yes.
It's when
it was a really good introduction to the console. The first thing we did.
You probably know if you read up on the stuff, you each get given a Joy-Con, and you've essentially just got to milk a cow, and whoever gets the most milk out wins. I mean, it's that simple. And you're given a Joy-Con. You got to hold the two shoulder buttons, and one of them to drag, and you've just got to do it as much as you can. And it was quite funny.
It was. It was funny. It showed as well the pressure sensitivity of the buttons, because the harder you squeezed, the more milk came out. So it was.
And the rumble was great as well. The HD rumble, as they call it. It's a weird thing to pro about, but it's like the best rumble in a controller I've ever felt. Which is probably right for Nintendo, because they're the ones that invented it in the first place. And then we played Quick Draw, which was a lot of fun.
Yes.
I did actually really enjoy Quick Draw. It was very funny.
Quick Draw. Yeah, it is quite fun.
Another game where you each got given a Joy-Con, and it's just, you probably saw it in the trailer that came out a couple months back, but you hold it down on your left hand side, or your right hand side, whichever way you're facing, and you've the screen. You're not looking at the screen, which is it's weird for a video game.
Yeah, a lot of the...
Not to look at the screen.
Because Milk encouraged you not to look at the screen as well, to look at your partner.
You look at the opponent instead. And we looked, and it was actually quite funny, because you get into the spirit of it all. You end up doing like death stares to each other, just staring at each other quite intently, and you've got to wait. And it shouts fire on the screen. You just got to go bam as quick as you possibly can, and let go of the trigger. Now, we weren't very good at it at first.
I wasn't very good at it at all, but
I shot the ground a couple times. I think I shot Sean in the leg.
Yeah, I was Sean. He wasn't the worst at it. I was by far the worst at it, but he struggled the most with the sheer amount of buttons there are on the Joy-Con, or whatever you call it.
Yeah, they called it the Joy-Con.
Joy-Con.
Okay.
The
Joy-Con.
There's a lot of buttons for a little thing.
It is.
And if you hold it one way, you'll feel like you're pressing buttons that are designed to be, they're just kind of, the other buttons for it being used in other ways are in the way. Mm-hmm. Did that made no sense whatsoever?
Yeah, perfect sense. Perfect sense. Jay, don't worry. Let's move the mic down a little bit.
So I found that, for example, when we were playing Snipper Clips, that I could feel the trigger. When I wasn't using it in a way that needed the trigger, and Sean struggled with the he kept firing it pointing downwards by pressing a different button, not the trigger button.
It's very sensitive, wasn't it?
But it wasn't the trigger button that he was pressing. It was just where he was squeezing it, something else was getting pressed, and that was triggering it as well. Mm-hmm. So
got tricky.
There can't be less buttons on it. I guess it's something you get used to the more you use it. Because you need all those buttons, but they do get in the way a little bit occasionally.
I don't know what you were moaning about. I didn't find that an issue at all.
You couldn't...
No. It's the same as any other controller. It just feels like a lot more because they're just squashed into a tiny controller.
Well, no, because any other controller you wouldn't use in the way you would use the Joy-Cons as a two-player. You're using them, particularly with 1-2 switch, like you would a Wii controller, an original Wii controller. And there are less buttons, I think, on an original Wii controller.
Well, yeah, it hasn't got any triggers. It's got the one Z on the back.
Yeah, but that's it. So when you're holding it like a gun, you're not worrying about pressing any of these other ones down the sides, are you? A normal controller's not designed for you to be able to do that.
We got told which button to press. So you just press that button.
Yeah, but if you're holding it, you've got your hand wrapped around it to be able to press that button. You're kind of squishing...
You hold it the other way. You have the non-button side in your palm. And then that way you can just hold it like you're doing in Milk. And then use that one for the trigger. That's what I did. No.
Okay, I think we just need to agree to disagree on this one.
If you want to agree that I'm right, it's fine. It's fine by me. What do we do next? We queued up for ARMS, didn't we?
We queued up for ARMS and then left to play Zelda.
Yeah, which was the right thing to do.
Yeah.
And when you walked in, you weren't given a... you had to get a time to go and play Zelda. And they gave us 3:30. Which, the first half an hour was mostly taken up with queuing for ARMS that we didn't play. And playing 1-2 Switch, which was amazing, really. And yeah, went to play Zelda.
Yes, we did.
Oh, man. We played Zelda with the Pro Controller at first. And as soon as I got outside as Link, I don't know, there are no words to convey how I felt. It just hit me. I was like, oh my god, I'm playing Zelda again. Finally. And it felt absolutely perfect. It felt like a Zelda game that I played when I was 12 or 13, when I first played Ocarina of Time. And, oh man, it just hit me like a train. I was like, oh my god, I'm not ready for this. When people talk about it being the game that people want, it makes perfect sense because it felt perfect. It plays brilliantly. It looks amazing. That was the only game that really showed off the power of the console, I think, at this event. And it looked fantastic. I had a I didn't do it myself, but someone sat next to me was playing Zelda on the TV, and then the Nintendo rep grabbed the Switch out of the thing, and it just jumped to his handset. Like, oh, wow, that's a cool thing. I mean, seeing it with my own eyes for the first time and how quick it is was just amazing. And I need Zelda back in my life. I really do.
Yeah.
I miss it. I miss it already. And those 10 minutes that I played, they were just amazing. I was like, I need it. I need more. Why are you taking it away from me? I was like, all right. I very nearly went back to the front and got another time. Got a second time because like I've got to play it again, but we just ran out of time in the end. Anyway, as someone who doesn't play Zelda as much as me, what do you think?
It's really hard for me to comment because I didn't have the best experience. Not because of Zelda, not because of the console, just partially because of me and partially because of the guy that was demonstrating it to me. So initially I did struggle with the Pro Controller just because it's something I'm not used to. I probably would get the hang of the buttons and things as and when. I think the problem probably was I'm not massively clued up on Nintendo consoles. I do have a Wii, an original
So
Wii.
how many people that are so desperate to play Breath of the Wild?
I know, and I've played it, and it was probably wasted on me. But I did manage to kill a few
Trolls.
troll type things.
Yay!
And then I was really interested to see I'd rather have played it on the handheld than with the Pro Controller. And so when I got to a certain point in the game, the guy that was, bless him, very patient with me and talking me all the way through, because I'd never played Zelda before either, and I was struggling with the controller, and he'd been so good up until that point. And then he said, right, this is a good point to switch over while it was going through a bit of story. And he took it out and failed to tell me that you need to press a certain thing to get it to transfer your game. And he just disappeared at that point, the point that I needed the most help. He just went silent. Which it may have been something completely obvious that I missed, but having had him talk me through step by step, right, this is how you move, this is how you kill the troll, whatever, for him not to tell me how to do that bit, it meant that it just kind of stopped. And then they told us our time was up, so I never actually got to play it on the handheld, and that's what I really wanted to do.
It's disappointing, isn't it?
It is disappointing that I didn't get the most out of the experience.
Oh, man.
But I can see why people love the game.
Yeah.
I get it. I do get it. I've not got into that world yet.
It feels like a brand new Zelda game. It feels like a Zelda game which has had influences of all the RPGs that have come after it. Maybe done certain things a little better, but then done it in its own kind of Zelda way. And I got that from playing it for 10 minutes. And 5 minutes of that was the bloody tutorial. I should say credit to the Nintendo reps that were there. They were brilliant.
I mean, that was one very slight oversight of 2 hours where they were absolutely fantastic.
Yeah, they were really great.
Can't fault them.
Really great. I can't remember her name now who was showing Zelda to me, but she was fantastic.
She was lovely. She spoke to us after as well.
We chatted for ages about Zelda. She's never played Ocarina of Time. She gets paid by Nintendo to show off Breath of the Wild. Unbelievable. But no, she was great. She was really, really nice. All the reps were really great, actually. All of them. So that was Zelda. Oh. I need it back in my life. What do we do next? We did Mario Kart next, didn't we?
Yes, we did.
Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, which is obviously a Switch version of the Mario Kart that came out on the Wii U. We played this one on the handheld. We actually finally got the Switch screen and the Joy-Cons, and we played Mario Kart around this circle with 8 other players. And I should have won that game. I was so close. So close. As very typical it is in Mario Kart, it's not about luck. It's all about... Well, no, it is about luck. It's not about skill. It's complete luck, whether you win or lose Mario Kart. And that's why everyone feels like it's so accessible, because anyone can win. And I was second for ages. Toad was in front of me for a while. And I was second, like 5 seconds or something off the final lap. And the finish line, and then I get busted with a red shell. And Sean drives around me. Son of a bitch. But I loved it. It felt really smooth. It felt like Mario Kart. The graphics were great. The screen is really nice and clear. We had to wait for ages to get the map started because Jacqui was just staring at the screen. The whole circle waiting for you. But yeah, it was great. It was really, really great. I think that's another definite must-buy. What do you think?
Yeah, I loved it. I loved the fact that with that one we actually properly got to use it, unlike me with Zelda, properly got to use it as a handheld. And yeah, I really like the feel of the console in my hand. I still have reservations that it's a very expensive piece of kit to use as a handheld and carry around with you.
Just get a case.
But it's not just about that. You get your bag nicked or whatever, and that's a lot of money down the drain. Even in a case, you can damage stuff. Or your bottle leaks, your drink leaks. There's a lot that can go wrong with a handheld console.
What do you think of Mario Kart?
But yeah, I really liked the feel of the console as a handheld. And Mario Kart's Mario Kart, isn't it?
Yeah, it was awesome.
It's just fun. And
it's really fun.
Yeah, it was fun again.
And it played really, really well. And that's another definite Switch purchase, I think, if you were going to get one. Definitely. The actual unit itself, like you said, it did feel really nice. Felt a lot more premium and a lot more... People talk about it about being weighty and it feeling like an expensive device, and it really does. You know, you really got to hold it to appreciate that, I think.
But it's not weighty and it's too heavy to be a handheld either.
No.
It just feels nice.
Yeah, they've got it spot on. Whatever it is that they were going for. But yeah, it feels really great. And Mario Kart felt very comfortable on it.
Yeah,
felt very
very
at
easy
home
to control.
on that sort of system. And I need it again in my life.
I could see us playing that on the desktop as well, as a 2-player.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. It might take a little while to get used to it playing with the Joy-Cons.
I'm not sure it will because, I mean, you don't use... Okay, so you were using the joystick thing. On
Joy-Con?
No,
the analog stick?
Analog stick, there we go. You can tell I know what I'm talking about. Use the analog stick on the one side and the buttons on the other. But it wouldn't be that... It wouldn't feel that different at all to just turn the Joy-Con around and play with it on the same thing. That game really... That one makes sense for it to work all ways, I think.
Yeah, I know that there is an option to use it as a gyro, to use that to go left and right as a controller. You know, just to spin it left or spin it right, depending on which way you're going. Yeah,
because you can get the steering wheels and things like you could for the Wii, can't you?
Yeah, that irritates me.
Yeah, I know you don't like it, but that option is there should you want to.
I would never play it like that, ever. As long as I could play it on the Joy-Con with just the analog stick going left and right.
Yeah. Fine.
Not a problem. Give it to me. Mario Kart 8, I think that's out in April, I believe. End of April. Just in time for us all to buy it when we finish Zelda.
But Mario Kart's not really a game that you can get your teeth into, is it? It's like you finish Zelda, which is going to be massive. But Mario Kart is just a game you kind of pick up for 5 minutes and have a bit of fun, or play with a couple of people. Yeah,
I mean, you can unlock different tracks and different cups.
Yeah, but it's not. It doesn't take the same investment as a game like Zelda. It's not. No. It's not. It's a. What's the next big one? Like, okay, you bought it. You've got Zelda. Then what do you play?
You play Mario Kart.
Mario Kart's not gonna keep you occupied for that long, is it?
I don't know. It depends. I mean, this is Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, so all the DLC from the Wii U version is bundled in. So you've got a mega ton of extra content, which you wouldn't have before. They're just thrown at you, which I think is really good.
Yeah.
I mean, there's so many games coming out for the Switch over the year, but the biggest one post-release is probably Super Mario.
Okay.
And that's out in November. So, there's a bit of a gap.
Yeah.
But
you've got Mario Kart in the meantime.
But there's so, like I said, there's a lot coming out. So, it shouldn't be a problem. Super Mario is another one of those games that you buy the Switch to play.
Yeah.
The same way you buy the Switch to play Zelda. Yeah.
Yeah.
So Mario Kart was great. What did we do after that? Did we go to Splatoon after that?
Yes.
Ugh. Right. not going to go on too much about Splatoon. It's got a big old fan base. People love it.
Yeah,
So I'm like, okay, great.
I didn't play this, but it looked really fun to me.
Yeah. Okay. I'm not gonna insult Splatoon because I sucked at it, because I did. It wasn't great. But what I will insult was the controller. We played this with the Joy-Con grip controller, which is the 2 Joy-Cons into that handheld thing. And it's like this. It's really, really small. And you can't feel it properly. And we were using the gyro to look up and look down at left and right, and it didn't feel good.
Okay.
Didn't feel good.
I don't quite. I didn't play with it myself. That was one of the ways that I didn't use the console.
Yeah, there's an alternative. You can turn that off and just use the analog, but then it's really slow when you can't move it. So the optimum way of playing it is with the gyro to look around, and I don't like playing games like that.
Okay, so
this is my issue.
Your issue there is more the way the game is designed and not with the console itself.
No. It looked fine. It played really well. It was slick. The graphics are great. We had a game of Tour 4 where you had to cover the floors and stuff with your colour, with your paint, and it was great. It was fun. But no, I'm not playing it like that. No way. If I did end up buying Splatoon, or Splatoon 2, I'd rip it out and play it with the Joy-Cons, I think. Or the Pro Controller. I ain't playing it with no gyro, and that grip thing sucks. But
You've got to buy the Pro Controller separately, haven't you?
Yes, you do. Yeah, you do.
Do you get the grip?
Yes, you do.
Okay.
You got to take out an extra loan in order to buy Nintendo Switch accessories. But yeah, we'll go into that in a minute. And then we finished the deal for Snipper Clips.
Yes, we did.
Snipper Clips, which was really fun.
It was.
Loved Snipper Clips. It was great.
It's very much our kind of game, though, isn't it? I'm not a gamer. You've probably worked this out by now.
Deep teamwork is necessary in Snipper Clips.
And we do well at that.
Yeah, we did all right. So, yeah. I like Snipper Clips.
I like Snipper Clips as well.
If it's out on launch, I'm not sure if it is or not, but that would be a good companion game to Zelda. Like, when you've got to just, sit down and go, right, I can't play Zelda for now. I've been playing it for hours. Just need something else to play. I would get Snipper Clips to play alongside it, for sure.
Yeah.
Because I thoroughly enjoyed it.
And it wasn't... Because with some of these kind of puzzly type games, you can get frustrated quite quickly. But it was just funny when you got it wrong.
Yeah.
It wasn't... Yeah.
Yeah, it didn't ever get frustrating because it was our own fault not doing it right. It's not the game's fault for being rubbish. It's it's us trying to learn how to play it at the same time, and that basketball level.
Yeah,
that was just so funny because you knew exactly what you had to do.
Yeah, I'd seen it wasn't as if we'd figured it out. I'd seen the demo of it, so I knew kind of the basis of it, of what we needed to snip out, because you snip bits out of your little characters to solve the puzzle. And I knew what we needed to snip out, and I knew how we needed to do it, but I still couldn't do it.
No, but that's what made it fun, because we knew what we had to do. We just couldn't do it. And the time ran out by the end.
Yeah.
When we were playing Snipper Clips, it was the Nintendo event will be closing in 5 minutes. So we didn't get a chance to play it for that long, but that was the first time we had a chance to play the Joy-Con on its side.
Yes.
As a tiny little controller. And before I went in, I did have reservations about this. I didn't think it was going to work. But I thought it was alright, actually. It felt okay. It didn't feel as small as I imagined it to be.
Again, I have tiny little hands, but I found it fine.
Yeah.
Which is why I was a little surprised that you struggled with it in the... whatever you call it.
Oh, the grip.
In the grip.
Oh, it's just
because they're...
too close together.
But the buttons are the same spaced out as they are when you're playing with one of them. It's no smaller.
Yeah, but they're on they're vertical. So they're going down like that. And that's fine. Doing like that, but then like that. That's okay because you've got the aura. That's not the right word, but enough space around it to really not to feel comfortable. But with the grip, you're locked to it because you've got to do it like this.
Oh, so what you're saying is the grip itself needs to be further apart?
Yes.
Okay.
It needs to be a little wider. I know it probably can't because of the ergonomics of it, but yeah.
Well, no, because ergonomics, by definition...
Tell me what that word means.
It's the design to make things usable. To
Yeah.
make it user-friendly. It's badly ergonomically designed.
Badly ergonomically designed, Nintendo.
If it's not user-friendly.
Right, we have 7 minutes. So Any final thoughts on the Nintendo Switch? Would you, if you had the funds, you could go out there tomorrow and buy a Switch and buy Zelda and buy Snipper Clips. Would you?
The funds are the main problem for me.
Yeah, but if they weren't an issue.
If they weren't an issue, then yeah, I probably would. It is great. I do like it a lot. But, and this is my big but, it doesn't feel Nintendo-ish in the way it's being sold. Because you have to pay for everything. There are so many extra bits that if you want to use it to its full potential, you really need to buy. And if you want it as a family console in the same way as the Wii U and the Wii before it, you need to buy an extra controller. And they are very expensive. And the games are very expensive as well. So is it great? Yes. Would I go out and buy it? Probably not, just because of the expense involved.
It's super expensive. If you want to get extra controllers and stuff, you know. So you can look at it in a few different ways. You know, it's £280. That doesn't come with the game. You get the 2 Joy-Cons, which, you know, off the bat you're getting 2 controllers. If you look at it from a certain way.
Yes, but don't you have to buy the strap separately? And the strap is, and it's not just buying a strap.
Oh wow, that was echoey.
It's not just buying a strap, because the strap slots on and it's got the 2 buttons.
Yeah, they just
your right and left.
They just make the 2 shoulders a bit
Yeah,
extended.
because they're right in. You can't really play it comfortably without, and you've got to buy that separately. And that's a perfect example. Okay, they're not that expensive, but that does.
It's the principle, damn it!
It just doesn't feel, because Nintendo have been so good at not doing that in the past, that they have been the family console where controllers haven't been that expensive and things like that.
Yeah, the price of the accessories is the biggest issue with Switch, regardless of anything else. Paying for the extra straps, which are £5 each, doesn't sound like a lot, but you know they don't come with the controllers, which is bullshit. You've got the Joy-Cons themselves. If you buy 2, they come with a strap. If you buy 1, they don't. So if you pay £75 for 2 Joy-Cons, hey, you get a strap thrown in as well. Excellent. You know, the Pro Controller is £65. It goes up and up and up, and it's bizarre. And because there's so much that's interesting about it, the sheer fact that every game that we played more or less had a different way to play it.
Yeah.
In that's really interesting. You know, that's really exciting.
But you can only use that to its full potential if you spend some more money on it.
Yeah, but all the things that we could do, you don't have to pay extra for it.
Well, because we played with the Pro Controller, we played with the straps.
Except for the Pro Controller, obviously.
We played with the straps on. Yeah, we never got to try it out in a way that, okay, if you buy this console, you don't get the straps. So let's play it without the straps. They didn't. Yeah, we had to. Didn't get mentioned.
It's very Nintendo safety, but we had to put the straps on for Snipper Clips, and we were just kind of sat there. We were like, "No, please make sure you put the strap on." Okay, and it wasn't going anywhere, you know. Yeah. I've got a. If you probably know, we mentioned Sean. That's Sean Davies from Thumb Culture. That's from my dude over at Thumb Culture Days. Over at otghz.com now, which is really catchy. Cheers for that, Sean. He was there as well, and he wanted to say this. I wanted to want the Switch, I really did, but hands-on with it rooted me to the fence once again. Technically, it's a mixed bag with the Joy-Con Rumble HD a pleasure and the Pro Controller about as cheap, awkward, and unintuitive and empty as any controller I've ever held. There's potential there, but the Switch doesn't look like it'll realise that with a launch slate. There's hope for the future, but it's not a must-have console for me this side of Christmas 2017. I think he's got some solid points there.
Yeah. He said that far more eloquently than I could have.
He's got some, he's got a house full of kids. So if he got a Switch, that would be another £75 on top of that to get another Joy-Con set. It's a very expensive thing for a family, for sure. But if you've only got 2 kids, give them a Joy-Con each, give them a screen, sit in the back of the car, tell them to shut up.
But then again...
Give them Mario Kart, boom, you're done. There's so many pros and cons with this thing.
Yeah, I was just...
It's very difficult to recommend, because I don't think I'm going to get one at launch. I'm not going to get one at launch. And I'm not going to get one anytime soon, unless it comes down in price quite drastically. Because it is a great system, and there's going to be great games for it, and there's great potential for it. And I can think of all the places where I travel that I'd want a games console just right there to play. You know, that's very exciting. But I'm only going to play like 3 games a year on it right now that I can think of in my head that I want to play. It is a lot of money off the bat. There's not much to get excited about other than the typical Nintendo stuff. I don't know. It's so difficult. It really is. I got caught up in the hype at first. I pre-ordered it straight away. I was like, oh, I can't afford this, so I cancelled it. And then I was like, I'm not going to judge it until I played it. And I finally played it, and I still don't really know.
Yeah, I think everyone will feel differently about it, but you've got to weigh up what games do you want to play, because there are going to be people out there that want to carry on with the Nintendo games, and you're only going to be able to play Zelda on it. You're only going to be able to play Super Mario on that. You can't get them for anything else. And if that's important to you, go out and get it, because it is a great console. But if you're looking for a console for a family, or just to invest in a console, okay, you might spend more to buy a PS4 or an Xbox One, but then actually some of the games are going to be cheaper.
That's the thing, PS4s and Xbox, they're cheaper now.
Yeah, and once you've got it, you can pick up a second-hand controller that, if you want a second controller that isn't going to cost you the earth. And the games, you can get cheaper games for those, actually, than you can buy in the cartridges for the Nintendo Switch.
I'm going to hold off for a while until, Christmas. The deals are going to be everywhere, and hopefully the accessories, they would have learned their lesson, and accessories have gone down by then.
Or they'll include more in the package. I think that's more the problem, is that there are certain things that are kind of essential that don't come with it.
It's a very personal choice, I think.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, we've got to wrap it up, but thank you very much.
This
has been our thoughts on the Switch event over at Sunday, and the Switch itself. It is available on March 3rd, and it's still available, I think, in a lot of places, because people aren't rushing out to pre-order it like they did with the PS4 or the Xbox One. But I'm not going to bring that up. Thanks very much. This has been Jacqui. Thank you very much, Jay.
Thank you.
And keep following Micstand and keep watching for more on the Switch. I'm not doing that. No. I'm so bad at this.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.